Hello everyone! One thing that I asked for Santa if he can get me my own castle of creativity, and I actually got it. I was really happy and excited. So in my workshops you're gonna see hairstyles, makeup, fashion, DIYs, and something completely new like a skincare. Today you're gonna see a makeup tutorial in one of my workshops. In this video, I'm not gonna answer on a question on how to create a perfect brows. There's already plenty of videos on that. In this video, I'm gonna tell you what fits you best: gel, brow pencil, or brow powder. Also, how to draw a perfect brow if your eyes are too close or too far apart, and most important, what fits you best: a brow gel, pencil, or shadow. As example, I will use Anastasia Beverly Hills today. What an irony, my name is Anastasia as well. As well as this video is not sponsored, I just like Anastasia Beverly Hills and I think their brow stuff is really good no matter if it's a gel or even a pencil. So first of all, how to define the perfect brow. First, you're gonna start in outer corner of your nose, through inside part of your eye and your eyebrow. That's how you can define the first line. The second line will start same thing, but the second line will go through your eye, and that's gonna be your high point of your brow. And the third point will be through your nose and outer corner of your eye. That's where your brow should end. Now, how to define if your eyes are too close or too far apart, then you can't use the system. So by defining that, you can take something and measure how long is your eye. From here, you're gonna bring it to the middle and see if this distance is exactly between two of your eyes. If this distance is the same, then you know you have a correct setup of your eyes, like I have a fine setup of my eyes. If yours is too far or too close in between that line, then you know you're probably too far or too close setup of your eyes. So if your eyes are too close, instead of creating a straight line, you actually will start slightly from inside part of your eye. That's why you know where you want to end your brow. If your eyes are too far apart, instead of starting perfectly in the line, you want to start tiny bit out of that line, close to your nose. That's why you can create a closer setup of your brows, or opposite, too far setup of your brows, so it creates an illusion that your eyes are in a perfect set. No matter if you use gel, pencil, or powder, your darkest part should be the highest point of your brow, not center, not far, but that point. Because if you set it too close, it will create illusion that you have really mean in monster type brows. If you create a too high point and you create it too dark on your high points, it will create illusion that you really mean and angry. If your brows are too long and you went out of that lines, that will create illusion you're really old, at least 10 extra years. So it's really important that you create a nice lines for your brows, because you can look ugly, mean, or even old. So your first step should be either using a wax to apply on your brows or primer, just like if you use a foundation, preferably if you apply a primer first and then your foundation. Same thing to the brows. I would definitely recommend using a wax or a primer for someone whose brows grow this way, all over the place. So if you want to set them on particular shape that you want, you preferably need to use brow wax or brow primer. I will start from Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil. This is a brow base, really thin pencil, and this is a color taupe. Taupe would work perfectly for blonde people because you don't want to have blonde, that way it will be slightly orange undertone, and for blonde people you want to have more like a gray undertone, so taupe will be best for blonde who's kind of like a darker blonde like I am, or maybe slightly lighter too. You want to use taupe for slightly gray undertones. Now, no matter if you use powder, gel, or pencil, you always want to start this way. Bottom close to your nose, and then create a line. A straight line from here all the way to under of your brow. Then from here, you want to go down. Now, if you need to, you can obviously brush it up close to your nose, straighter close to high point of your brow, and then downwards close to your last point outside of your eye. That's if you want to keep using the trendy, which is the high right here, then it goes straight, and then the down. Obviously, if someone likes brows from 60s when they way thin, or even maybe 20s when they go way thin, you don't need to exactly create high point here, you just want to create oval. In my case, I will use something that is more trendy right now. Now, since this is my high point, from here, I want to go down as well. Now, since my hair grows up and you want to brush it up, from here you want to create a brush strokes up and then close to your high point. Close to your upper point, here you want to go down because your hair grows down. And this is what I get. As you can see, with pencil you can create really soft look. So pencil would work for someone first doesn't have a lot of brows. So if, let's say, you were old or just genetically you don't have a lot of brows, pencil would work perfectly in mostly brow wigs because it's so thin. You can create strokes that will look like real hair, but actually you don't have your own hair. So pencil will work for someone who has less hair. Now, brow powder. This is Anastasia Beverly's brow powder, same color too. It has one light and one dark. So reason one is darker than the other one, just like I explained. When you draw your brow, the high point, you want it to be slightly darker than the one is close to your eye, close to your nose. So using angled brush, I'll be able to use the powder. Lighter powder, I will start creating the brow just like I did before. Under, then creating the down strokes, and then the upper close to my nose. And then brush it in the middle or afterwards. When I get close to my upper point, that's where I will use darker color from this little palette. So, brow powder. Brow powder will definitely can create really flawless and natural look. Brow powder definitely would not work for someone who has no brows. This is definitely no. Pencil is the best thing to do. So brow powder will work for someone who has brows and they just want to create slightly more color to define. Brow powder will color more actual brows. A brow pencil can color more skin than your brows. Also, it will be definitely for someone who just want to go more advanced. Since this is makeup 101 for beginners, if you prefer pencil and you want to step up more close to gel, you can start with the powder because that's where you start need to use a brush. When you get used to the brush, you can step up using gel. Now Anastasia Beverly Hills, same color too. For this, you still want to use the angled brush, just like we did for the powder, and you will need just a little bit. You don't need more than a tiny bit when you start. With the brow gel, you need to be careful because when you will start your line right here, if you put too much, it will look so dark in that particular spot and there's no way you will be able to brush it with the little brush. You'll have to kind of wash your brow off and start again. So I'll brush my brow first and then I'll start applying. You see right away how my brows start get defined and I put just tiny bit. So this little jar will actually last you a really long time. The brow gel definitely be for someone who get used to draw their brows and using brush. With brow gel, you can actually create those really defined looks and Instagram type videos and pictures that you have seen. This would work best for both someone has hair, their brows, or don't have their brows. Because gel will be able to color not just your skin but your actual hair. So let's say if you genetically has some of your hair different colors or even gray, you can easily color that and color your skin and your hair. But it will be definitely the most advanced. If you just started makeup, you would definitely want to start with pencil. Then move on to the powder because you can get used to the brush. And then the last thing, you can start using gel to create a perfect brow. All three will definitely work for anyone, but it's up to you what you prefer the best. So, pencil will work definitely for someone who has no brows and they just started the makeup. A brow powder will work for someone who wants to move a little farther but still create a natural brow and start using a brush. Gel will work definitely for someone who has the hair, but you can also use it if you don't have a hair or if you have a gray hair. And it's gonna be a little tricky using a brush, but you can get used to it to create redefined brows. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I need to finish up my second brow and move on to my next video. Bye bye guys.